This river, to me, is kind of like our lifeline. It is pretty much our pulse. It's our people. It's what it means to me. It's my heart.
Over the years, changes on the Kootenay River has put pressure on the fish population. David Weaselhead Jr. is working to save the river's white sturgeon.
This is why I love my job, I guess. That's why I'm here, to restore the population of the sturgeon, to get it off the endangered species list.
At the hatchery of the Kootenay tribe of Idaho, he will collect eggs from this female caught earlier today in the river. The eggs are then fertilized and the baby fish are cared for. This little sturgeon will soon be released. Burbot populations are also threatened.
They were almost all gone by the 90s. And through the program that you're seeing here, we've been able to actually bump the population back up to about 50,000 adults.
While both species of fish have been suffering for a long time, a newer issue is making things worse: selenium, a natural element, but in high concentration, it can affect the fish's reproduction.
And some of those burbot already exceed protective criteria here in the United States, which means these young females, their eggs have a higher selenium concentration than the science has shown would be safe for them.
The worry is if the trend isn't reversed, there will be catastrophic decline in fish stocks. To find the source of that selenium, we have to follow the river, north across the Canadian border and into the Elk Valley. It's here that Teck Resources has been mining coal, which is an essential fuel to make steel.
So behind us here are the waste rock piles where the selenium actually is released from. Oxygen and water from rain and so forth will enter those piles. That'll lead to selenium being released into that water and then traveling through the waste rock piles and into the rivers and downstream.
Teck says it has spent $1.2 billion to put a stop to this release, but levels are still high.
Although you can treat water for 10, 20, 30 years as these mines are operational, you have to think of it in a larger scale, which is the hundreds of thousands of years.
Scientists are monitoring those levels across the border, near the Libby Dam, in the water, fish, and even in insects. A small amount of selenium in the water can end up in a large amount in fish as it accumulates through the food web.
The concern with selenium is that it can lead to deformities in the young fish.
Government agencies on the U.S. side have been collecting data since 2020.
Oh, yeah, nice. The concentrations in the eggs of some of the species of fish do exceed the regulatory concentrations of concern.
Over the years, the Canadian provincial and federal government has fined Teck millions of dollars for polluting the river.
Up till now that the company has been out of compliance, and there seems to be little or no consequences, and that's concerning to us.
The provincial Ministry of Environment says it is working on a permit change to the mining operation to limit the waste discharge. The vice chairman of the Kootenay Tribe of Idaho is in Washington, D.C., to help inform officials from Canada and the U.S. as they work towards an agreement to reduce the water pollution in the Kootenay River Basin.
So we need to figure out a good way to move forward in the future that takes care of things and keeps things clean, keeps our pristine waters.
He says the hatchery and all the restoration work on the river has cost about $500 million.
To put in all this work and to feel like we're reaching, some success and getting somewhere with it and feeling pretty good about that, and to realize how precarious the situation is, it's disheartening, and it'll never stop my resolve, but it's like a gut punch.
He hopes for better accountability from the mining industry to preserve the work done to protect fish. Camille Vernet, CBC News, near Bonus Ferry in Idaho.